The New York Giants have come a long way over the last few years improving this team. Coming into the 2023 offseason, we all knew that they were just a few moves away from being legitimate threats in the NFC. Now, with that being said, the Giants actually started off this free agency period making some big-time moves, bringing in a couple of new weapons for Daniel Jones, including guys like Darren Waller, Paris Campbell, Jamison Crowder, and a couple of other guys as well. Now, as we approach the NFL draft, the Giants had a couple of big needs that they needed to address, including cornerback and offensive line. Now, the good news is they came out right away with the game plan and smashed the NFL draft out of the park. Now, sitting here today, the Giants have completed rookie minicamp and are now preparing for OTAs. In this video, I'll be breaking down the entirety of the Giants rookie camp, telling you who stood out, who didn't, but more importantly, how the Giants can shock the world next season. However, before we jump into the video, make sure you guys do me a huge favor, smash that like button. It helps out the channel so much. So let's just see how big this Giants fan base is. Let's see if you guys can get up to 500 likes. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will be covering the Giants and the rest of the NFL all year long, so join the family. And one last thing, comment down below, who do you think is the biggest sleeper in this year's draft class for the New York Football Giants? And without any further ado, let's jump right into today's video. Now, I do want to let you guys know that everything I say in this video it's just rookie minicamp. Yes, a player can stand out and pass the eye test, but everything I say in this video, take with a grain of salt. Because, you know, the pads aren't on and we won't know the true potential of these guys until that day, which won't be for a little bit. So, like I said, just take everything I say with a grain of salt. This doesn't mean everything. It's just a first impression. Now, the first thing that jumped off the page at the beginning of rookie camp was Eric Gray, a fifth-round running back that turned a ton of heads, and the Giants have a lot of high hopes for Eric Gray going into next season. Now, you might be asking, how can he turn heads if there's no pads on? As a running back, you really don't see that. Now, what I mean by turning heads is, we all know Saquon Barkley has massive legs, massive thighs, but Eric Gray could literally be Saquon 2.0 with the size of his legs as well. Now, obviously, we don't know how good Eric Gray will be in the NFL, but just looking at his size of his legs and, you know, he's shown some flashes at the collegiate level. So just looking at that alone, it tells us that he could definitely be a very solid running back, especially to get him in the fifth round. Now, obviously, we love his, his quick bursts, his powerful legs allows him to break through defenses and make big-time plays. However, like I said before, we won't be able to see this showcased until the dog days of camp, so be ready for that. Eric Gray looks to be a very solid player, but could be even scarier, come to, training camp preseason. He could really break out for this team going forward, I do like their running back room with Saquon, Matt Breida, Gary Braywell, Ja'Shawn Corbin, but I do think Eric Gray could be the RB2 on this team going forward. Let me know what you guys think about Eric Gray in the comment section down below. But let's talk about another guy who has turned some heads here in camp, and it was second-round pick John Michael Schmitz. Now, we've only seen a couple of days of work out of him, but man, does he already seem to be one of the cornerstones of this offensive line for the future. Now, reporters were gushing with his fluidity and his quick snap ability, something that the Giants have been missing for a very long time. And again, we'll need to see a lot more of that when it comes to, OTAs and minicamp and training camp and preseason. But when it comes to first impressions, it was as good of a start that you can ask for, the new starting center in New York. Now, moving on to a guy in Jalin Hyatt, a third-round receiver who's coming into a stacked wide receiver room already. We don't know too much about what his role will be at the NFL level, but however, head coach Brian Daboll had him receiving some punts and kickoffs to start rookie minicamp. Now, weirdly enough, Hyatt has never returned kicks or punts in college, so this is something new for him as he adjusts to the NFL. But at the same time, don't look at it as he's going to be the starting kick returner. He might not even be the starting punt returner. He might not even be on special teams at all. This is just the coaching staff and the front office doing their due diligence, trying to figure out who would be the best man for that job. So don't look too much into it as of right now. Now, comment down below, what do you think, or what do you want Jalin Hyatt's role to be, or what do you think it will be? entering the 2023 NFL season. I mean, there are a ton of wide receivers on this roster, with Isaiah Hodgins, Darius Slayton, Paris Campbell, Sterling Shepard, Wan'Dale Robinson, and a couple of other guys as well. We'll talk about a little bit later, but I mean, there is a ton of talent. Let me know where you guys think Jalin Hyatt will be to start the season. Now, before we break down some more rookies' first impressions, make sure you guys do me a huge favor. Smash that like button if you're enjoying the video so far. Subscribe for more NFL content. I also live stream games on the channel, so if you ever want to come watch a game with me, chill out, vibe in the chat, make sure you guys turn on post notifications so you're notified every time we go live for a Giants game. But let's jump right back into the video. Now, let's talk about wide receiver Bryce Ford Wheaton. Now, guys, if you don't know about Bryce, you need to learn about him right now. He's a undrafted free agent out of West Virginia who's been lighting up rookie camp. He's 6'4", 220 pounds, and provides a different dynamic to this wide receiver group. The Giants only have 2 wide receivers that stand over 6 feet tall. However, Ford Wheaton has already started making his case to be on this 53-man roster come, September. Now, not only does he showcase amazing size, but he also has amazing speed as well. If he doesn't make the team, I would kind of be shocked. Giants fans, you need to keep an eye on Bryce Ford Wheaton. Go look at his highlights. This man is a different breed, and to get him as an undrafted free agent is absolutely amazing value. He could definitely be a breakout player here, not only in 2023, but he could be a big-time contributor for years to come. Now, the one player you've been dying to hear about, I'm guessing, is Deonte Banks. Now, unfortunately, Brian Daboll didn't want to practice him too much during these rookie minicamp drills. So, basically, we weren't able to see a first impression out of him. But, if we look back at his tape at Maryland, this dude is an absolute animal. He is a dog out of a cornerback out of Maryland. He is amazing. Now, with that being said, we'll get to see a lot more of Tay when OTAs start, and I'm so excited to see him line up against solid wide receivers like Sterling Shepard, Paris Campbell, Darius Slayton, and so many more of these Giants wide receivers. We already know that, Deonte Banks was one of the best man-to-man corners in the draft, and this Giants defense loves to man up. So we'll see how he does here, going into training camp and mini camp and, the preseason. But I think that he could be a stud for the Giants going forward. Now, listen, don't be nervous. The reason he's not playing, it's not because of injury. They're just resting him. They just want him to stay rested until the start of, training camp when things get more crazy. So they're going to keep him rested, keep him, healthy until that day comes. So don't be too nervous about him having injury problems. He is fine. Now, another guy who's looked pretty good was Trey Hawkins, another defensive back who can help out the Giants in multiple different spots. Came out and turned some heads with his versatility. However, he does have a lot of work to do to fight up this depth chart. You got Deonte Banks, you got Adoree Jackson, Darnay Holmes, Cordell Flott, Dane Belton, Aaron Robinson. Now, Trey Hawkins is a 6th-round pick. Has some work to do, but I do like what he brings as a cornerback to this roster. Now, Trey was asked who he would compare himself to in the NFL, and he stated that he takes things from a ton of different players. That includes guys like Jalen Ramsey, Jimmy Smith, Patrick Surtain. Now, if the Giants can get a combination of these guys, the Giants may have just found themselves a hidden gem. Now, like I said, he has a ton of work to do, a ton of development to do, but man, he could be a very good player for the Giants moving forward. Now, with that being said, there isn't too much to talk about until OTAs begin with some of these other guys like, Jordan Riley, Gervarius Owens, and some other guys as well. We won't know too much about them until the start of OTA. So, make sure you guys subscribe. I will keep you guys updated with all the OTA information. But overall, when I look at this roster heading into 2023, I see a much improved team that has the ability to get over the hump next season. I mean, just look at the roster. In terms of wide receivers, you got Isaiah Hodgins, Darius Slayton, Paris Campbell, Jalin Hyatt, Sterling Shepard, Wan'Dale Robinson. Still got Colin Johnson from last season. You bring in Jeff Smith and Jamison Crowder, and now you have Bryce Ford Wheaton, who's absolutely breaking out this this summer. The offensive line, you have 2 cornerstones in Andrew Thomas and Evan Neal. And now John Michael Schmitz is starting to look, or Michael John It's John Michael Schmitz is starting to look good as well. So, I mean, the offensive line looks good. You bring in a tight end and Darren Waller to be the new tight end 1. You got Daniel Bellinger at tight end 2, who I like. Daniel Jones does need to take a step up, but I do think he can. You got Saquon, Eric Gray, Matt Breida. Like the running back room as well. And then on defense, I mean, the defense is stacked, man. Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, A'Shawn Robinson, one of the best defensive players in all of free agency. They land him here in New York. You got Azeez Ojulari. You got Bobby. You got Jared Davis, Kayvon Thibodeau. You got Adoree Jackson, Xavier McKinney, Deontay Banks, Darnay Holmes, Bobby McCain, Dave Belton, Trey Hawkins. I mean, this team is stacked, man. This team is absolutely stacked. Now, last season, the Giants ranked poorly in both points per game and points allowed per game, so they'll need to continue development, team chemistry going forward. Talent is not the issue for this team. Daniel Jones is also a guy who I think will take a leap here in 2023, and if he does, the sky is the limit for the Giants. Now, with this revamped offense and a brand new starting center and some more development, I fully believe that the Giants can shock the NFL next season. Comment down your prediction for the Giants record next season. How good do you think they'll be? Do you think they'll be middle of the pack? Do you think they'll be a playoff team? Do you think they'll be a contender? Let me know in the comment section down below, because if the Giants do have a bad season next year, I think Daniel Jones could be gone, which could happen. But next year, there's a ton of really good quarterbacks in the draft, so wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but obviously we would love to see Daniel Jones succeed in 2023. Make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace. Today's video is brought to you by Pro Class, the absolute best place for you to take your game to the highest level. It's the first of its kind sports training and development platform where you can reach your highest potential by learning from some of the best athletes on the entire planet. Some of these guys include Damian Lillard, De'Aaron Fox, Allen Iverson, DeMar DeRozan, and so many more. And I have some great news to you guys. If you guys go use my code MattyDubs, you'll get 50% off hundreds of training videos, workouts, and drills, and you can get in the lab right now. So go check it out. Go steal some of the secrets from some of the top players in the world right now. And if you are interested in developing your skills at any level, if you play in middle school, high school, college, or if your goal is just to be a better athlete, a better basketball player, this is where you need to go. Nobody else does this. Go check them out, and you can learn, develop your skills at a fast pace, high speed level. Click the link in the description for instant access to all of the secrets in the world. And remember, using code MattyDubs will get you 50% off right now, so don't miss out on this offer.